Let me just ask you a few questions. Who took part yesterday at evening in the party or some kind of that? Can you raise your hands, please? So just one, yeah, that's what I expected exactly. I thought that only few people who didn't go to the party will come here. So thank you for your time, and thank you that you came here. So my name is Inal Kardanov. I'm developer advocate at Waves platform. To be honest, my presentation, my slides, and my speech is not about Waves. It's about my experience as a developer advocate. Not only my experience, I think, but the experience of the whole company. Who have ever heard anything about Waves? Cool, just like 3, 4. Yeah, we built our own blockchain on current market cap. It was just like 20th just a few weeks ago. Right now I'm not sure about the place, but we're big enough. We have a lot of developers, we have a lot of applications, we have a lot of transactions every day, more than 100,000 as far as I remember. So we're big enough. And we have a very good program for game developers. We really spend a lot of time, a lot of money on game developers. And that's why I'm standing right here. I just want to share some insights and some knowledges that we got from our collaboration with game developers. So this presentation and these slides and this all these insights, mostly, not mostly, all insights we got from more than 20 teams we talked with and we worked with. They're tokenized more than 2 million items in different games. And by the way, they try to use different models of tokenization. They try to use lots of tools. And speaking frankly, it was really tough to work with all of them. We continue to do it, but it's a little bit hard to work with different developer teams and to see all that mistakes they do with their games. So that's why I'm here, just to warn you, just to note you on some important things if you want to tokenize your game. So let's start. Yeah, that's the main idea, I think, that different teams, different ideas, different models, different games, but most tokenization models are really bad. Let's be honest. At this conference, we could hear, yeah, tokenization is the future. I've been on, I think, 10 conferences about games, and on almost all of them, we can hear something like, yeah, tokenization is the future of gaming industry. We'll get a lot of benefits. Players want it, and so on and so forth. But most tokenization models are really bad. I think we have to admit it. So let's start from the beginning and let's go step by step. What game developers should do and what they shouldn't. The first step, which all game developers do as a first step, they try to issue a token. Right now, I think that token insurance is not an issue anymore, because to issue a token on I think most platforms, most blockchain platforms, you have to fill out one simple form, just press a button and it's gonna work. You will have your own token, so it's not an issue anymore. So I think we can say that, okay, this part, there are no problems. Every team can issue their own token. They can work with it, so okay, cool. What's the next step? We have a token and we have to attach it somehow to in-game items. Again, speaking frankly, it is easy enough. For example, at Waves, we have special SDK for game developers. They just have to read, I don't know, 1 or 2 pages of documentation, and they can use that SDK to integrate tokens into their game. Sounds well, right? We can issue a token, we can integrate it in our game. Okay, cool, it's simple, we have SDK, as I already said. But there is one big but. Almost all teams we worked with try to tokenize everything in their game. And this is a very huge problem. If you try to tokenize all items in your game, it can influence your performance. It can take really huge amount of time. You can spend a lot of money on tokenizing all that things. And let's be honest, users or players, they do not need that tokens for absolutely common things. And you as a game developer, you have tokenized only valuable items. Tokenization makes sense only for unique items. All collectibles, the idea of collectibles is tokenize unique items, but really many teams, just like the majority of teams we've talked with and we worked with, they try to tokenize everything, and it doesn't work. It won't work. So tokenize only valuable things, tokenize only unique items, for example. So, okay, you will save a lot of money, you will save a lot of time, and for players it may be even better that not so many rubbish in your game like token, but it's a rubbish, it's like a common thing. Okay, step 2, we did it. We tokenized only valuable items. Cool. Where's the next thing? We want to engage our users, players. We want to tell them a story about our game. We will explain them everything. Hey guys, this game is tokenized. You can get a lot of benefits from the tokenization, and I think that all that 20 teams, they use the tokenization as a selling point. They say to their players that, hey guys, everything is tokenized, so it's a really cool game. And they give access to users. They say, hey guys, you have to use MetaMask or Waves Keeper. It's like a MetaMask and Waves ecosystem. You have to pass here your seed phrase. You have to use your public-private keys. That's how they usually work. But again, there's a very big but here. Let's be honest. Blockchain is like a brick wall for your players. Really, it's another barrier for them to join your game. And if you tell them, hey guys, you can benefit from it, there is a blockchain, pass here your seed phrase or use this browser extension, it sounds like, hey guys, we want you to play our game, but to do it, you have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 10 more steps. You just create a new barrier, and almost all teams, they do absolutely the same thing. They do not onboard users at all. They just say, you have to understand how blockchain works. You have to understand where the private and public keys. It doesn't work again. You have to onboard your users smoothly. Don't build that brick wall. And what we can do and you can do, you can generate on users' behalf their private keys, their seed phrases, the account in the blockchain. You can do it on users' behalf. You can do it by yourself. You can use your backend or anything that you have. And you have just let them play. You have just to tell them, guys, just play. You have to, I don't know, to crush that brick wall and to say, just play. Let your users play. That's the main idea for now. And tell users about blockchain stuff only when they're ready. They should be mature enough to understand all benefits of your game, all these tokenization things, and tell them only when they're ready. Share with them, I don't know, how to use it, how to sell it, how to buy it, all that economic stuff. Share them only when they're ready. Okay? So don't please repeat the mistake of the majority, I think, of all teams we've talked with. Don't try to attract your users by blockchain. It doesn't work, really. Okay, how to sell items. We have tokenized items and we want to sell it. A lot of teams, they want to sell their items by crypto. But it won't work. If you want to be on marketplaces like Google Play or App Store or, I don't know, Steam, it won't work. They just will ban you, to be honest. So don't try to sell items for Bitcoin or any crypto. What you can do, and yeah, don't mess with that platforms, with game stores. Don't mess with them. Don't try to screw them, because you can use that platforms. You should not try to screw them. You should use their power to attract new developers, not developers, new players. And you can do it, and for sure you should do it. Yeah, and again, one big but. What you should and you can do. Okay, you will say that, no, we want to avoid all that stores because they take 30% of, I don't know, our revenue and they're really bad, blah, 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 blah. But you can do another thing. You can be much smarter. Sell that items in a smarter way. Earn revenues for example, taxation. You can apply some taxation models on your items, and you can use it, and you can earn from it, not from the first sell procedure, but from the taxation. Why not? And you can earn from it. And this is how it can work right now. At least now we are where we are. We won't fight with that platforms. We won't try to, I don't know, say, hey, we will not work with you guys. No, you're bad. We can use their power, and this is the only way we can attract a lot of players. Let's be honest. And again, don't mess up with stores. Don't repeat the mistake of the majority of the teams we talked with. Don't mess up with stores. Work with them. Use their power to attract more players. Like, for example, there are a lot of platforms where users can trade with each other, like using that in-game items, in-game tokens. For example, in Waves, we have a marketplace for gamers. They can go there. They can trade there with their items. They can exchange their items here. And you, as a game developer, you can get some taxes from that exchanges. So that's how you can earn more. And this was like I don't know, like a pain, my own pain, that we talked with a lot of teams. They almost all of them make absolutely similar like mistakes. And let's just wrap up. Tokenize only valuable items. I think it's clear enough. Onboard your users smoothly. Don't build that damn brick wall for your players. And the last but not the least, don't mess up with stores. Don't try to screw them. So, to be honest, we have one really good example of tokenized game. I mean in Waves. There's a game called Shadow Era. It's a card game. They have more than They have more than 5 million players, and I just want you to show how they tokenize their cards. It's just like 1 minute video. I hope it's gonna work. Yeah, I just open the game and I see really big button play. Here it's on the bottom. Okay, there are some news. I'm just like a player. Okay, it shows me some kind of map. I can go and play with my cards, with my collection. I can battle. That's it. There is no like enter your seat or use your MetaMask or some kind of that. But if I want, I can open the shadow tokens. I can see my address in the blockchain. I can see my seed phrase. I can take that seed phrase, go to, I don't know, decentralized exchange, do everything that I want with my tokens. Okay, that's it. I can, right here, they get data from our decentralized exchange. You can trade with it right here with different users. You see order book here, and you can, they have another option. They did really smart thing. They have different builds for different platforms. They distribute their game in 3 ways. You can download it by Steam. You can just download from their official website. To be honest, I do not remember what is the last option. But the idea is that they said, if you downloaded our game from our website, we won't ask you to pay with Steam. Makes sense, right? But if you downloaded the game from Steam, you have to pay it using Steam's payment processing. It makes sense, right? And they have just different builds. And in this example, I used the build I just downloaded from their official website. And that's how it should work. So I could play, right? Just like open the game, press 3 buttons, and I can play. There are no other barriers to onboard. At the same time, I just can take my seed phrase, like my private key. I can do everything that I want on the DEX or right inside the game. And I can buy if I downloaded the game from their website, not from the Steam. That's it. And that's how smart tokenization worked. And that's why they had more than 5 million users. If you will open the app right there, you will see 500 users is just like a top one application on blockchain, and doesn't matter. So that's how it should work, and that's how you can and you should tokenize your games. Yeah. And there are just few Waves fans here. So I just want to announce a few things. I have, as far as I understand, I have a few minutes left. For Waves fans, we are launching the app development environment soon. So it would be much easier to write a smart contract to make your own decentralized application in the near future. And we will launch very interesting non-fungible tokens without smart contracts at all. You should not write it at all. You just click a button and you have a lot of non-fungible tokens. It would be awesome. So I just wanted to ask to check that out. So that's just like for Waves fans. Yeah. And the last but not the least, also we are sponsoring developers. I started with some statistics that we talked with more than 20 teams, 20 game developer teams. We attracted them in this program. We have special program from game developers. We have a grant with 1 million waves. It's more than $2.5 million. And you can apply for this program if you are a game developer and you develop any kind of games. Yeah, that's it. I'm done.
Thank you. First question will be mine.
Yeah.
So about this smart tokenization, do the crypto players have some bonuses or maybe some preferences with their kind of payment? I'm talking about that maybe Steam players have some option that have crypto players. Or
it depends on game developer for sure and a game. For example, in Shadow Era, as far as as far as I remember, they can buy with a lower price. It's a little bit cheaper for them, as far as I remember. But it may be a mistake. So as far as I remember,
okay.
Again, yeah.
I mean about that. So guys, do you have questions? Yeah.
Hi, thanks for your presentation. How do you manage, for example, I give you an example. For example, you have a game that you download from Steam, okay, and on which you can buy some cards. Okay, right. The same game is available on a website, and you can buy the same cards on the website differently. If I own the card from Steam, and I want to sell them or trade them, if there is a tradable system, you're okay that if I acquire a new card from outside, it's normal and okay to have this card available on my session on Steam?
Yes, it's totally okay to have it in your session on Steam. Yeah.
Okay, so when you say don't mess up with the store, there is a very gray area because, I mean, you can acquire some items from outside their store because they are tradable items, but most of them are explaining that you can't explain this in the game if you bought it from their store. You don't have to, you can't advertise the fact that those items are tradable outside of their ecosystem because they will be not happy. So how do you manage that?
Yeah, I see a question. Right now, for example, in Shadow Era, they have some kind of freeze time. If you buy an item using, for example, Steam, they have like a freeze time. It's a token, but it's freezed for, I do not remember, just a few months. So you can't sell it at that time. The main idea why that platforms, that stores, they do not allow to use crypto right now is that the payment should be revertible. That's the main idea of stores. So at that time it's revertible, and the game developers, they can they control their token for that time. For example, for 2 months, the token is freezed. You can't trade it. After that time, after that 2 months, you can trade it, and it's absolutely okay, at least for Shadow Era with the stores. So that's how it works.